Welcome into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. Tied for our best 6-game start in franchise history now. Tell me this start of the season and then also getting off to a little bit quicker starting games. What do you feel like has just, if you look at the big picture, what stands out to you about why this team has been able to start this way?
Mental toughness. I think the trip in preseason we took to Pittsburgh, getting away for that week like it was an old school camp and getting the chemistry together, establishing boundaries, them getting to trust one another and being around each other day in and day out really helped with our mental toughness, and playing in that stadium against a very good football team and then going out playing in Atlanta and Houston the first 2 games of the year on the road, playing in hostile environments, that brought us closer together. Mentally, we didn't crack at the end of the ball games and we made plays to win, and that kind of been continuing, and that's been the theme thus far, and you know that kind of creates a tough football team.
I know Baker's game, he now in these last 2 weeks has the highest completion percentage and QB rating of anyone over these last 2 weeks, and the only quarterback to average at least 11 yards per attempt in those games. How do you see that he's able to find chemistry? I feel like we talk about how we know Mike Evans is great because he does it no matter who his quarterback is over the years. Baker's now showing he's doing it no matter who his wide receivers are. Do you think he's able to be so consistent no matter who is out there with him?
I think he trusts the offense, number one, so he understands his reads and knows where to go with the football, and he does a great job in the offseason of getting to know individuals, wide receiver-wise, tight end-wise, running back-wise, really entire team. But the guys that are out there, he knows where they're going to be. He knows what kind of routes they run. He knows if he breaks the pocket, who's going to be where, who does what, and how they think. So the connection has been great on his part, and I think he's done an outstanding job.
Let's talk about his 3rd and 14 scramble play. First of all, I would like a narration in your brain over the course of that play, if we were hearing the active thoughts.
First impressions was go down, tuck the ball away, you're going to get killed. Then he broke out of the pocket. Okay, slide. Then he goes to the left. Oh, my God, he's getting ready to get killed. And this guy's crazy. I think he's going to make it. It's like, great job, Baker! And then you go to the next play.
Yeah, that's amazing. This is exactly what I would have predicted, actually. I actually wish now we could have this commentary for all plays. That's what we all need. Instead of being just mic'd up, the active thoughts. I think that's what went through most Bucs fans' thoughts. Next Gen Stats said he had just a 3.7% chance to get the first down on that play. What did that individual play mean to the game and the team at that time?
I thought it meant everything because Mecca had just went out and we didn't have all our guys in there. For him to make that toughness run, it kind of brought everybody up that saw Mecca was down. Then a few plays later, he hit Tez on the deep ball. So it seemed to be happening every other week for him, and he's making some statement plays in the game, and that's great to see.
Yeah, let's talk about Tez Johnson. That touchdown was actually Baker's 3rd touchdown pass of at least 40 yards this season, which is the most among all quarterbacks. Take us through that play and what both Baker and Tez and the offense as a whole unit really did well to make that happen.
Baker brought time in the pocket. O-line did a great job giving him protection. He wanted the inside route. It wasn't there. He recalibrated, looked the other way. Tez was cheeking down the sideline. It was a heck of a throw. It was a heck of a catch. He connected with him. They've thrown some deep balls in practice, so he knows how fast Tez is and where he needs to place the ball, and he put it out there for him, and Tez went and got it.
I know Grizzard talked about before the season that increasing some of the deep balls and larger chunk plays was a really big emphasis for this year, but I'm sure a lot of people would have thought with so many injuries on both your offensive line and wide receiver room, that would have been a tough thing to have happen, but it still has happened a lot more, I think, than last year. So what's worked well on overall, just more of the deep passes, chunk plays, and why Grizzard's offense is designed to have a little bit more of that this year?
Well, it's worked well, especially yesterday, because Tez and Cam can run.
Yeah.
You know, they can run all day, and they got young legs, so they can run nonstop, and not get tired. And they did a great job of playing fast. The BMAC always preaches to those guys to play fast. They did a great job playing fast and learning and paying attention, and I think it clicked yesterday.
Cam Johnson, going into this game, had 0 career receptions and then finished as our leading receiver, had that incredible touchdown. Tell me about why he was ready in this moment, and outside of being fast, just all of the things that he has shown to prove to Baker that he was ready for a moment like this.
I think after being here a year and him being on the practice squad last year, then coming in this year, he had something to prove, and he did it on special teams, and he got the confidence in that, felt like he can be more of a receiver, and his time came up. Preseason, he was a little jittery, but he only had 1 game, but after that, he's been working his tail off in practice, and his chance came, and he took advantage of it.
And then now I know we don't know a lot about Emeka's health at this point. So what did you see from him in the game before he went out, and then just the ways that these other guys stepping up make you feel better about if he does have to miss some time, even missing now, basically it could be your top 4 potentially wide receivers, that what he was showing you and then what these other guys stepping in means for moving forward.
I mean, he came in playing fast. He was picking up right where he left off. He was on his way to having a very good ball game. He works hard and he plays hard. Mecca can do what 2 or 3 guys can do, so now it's to replace him, it's going to have to be about 3 or 4 guys to try to replace him. But we're confident in those guys. They've played some ball. They got some good experience yesterday, and if we got to play with them guys Monday night, I think they'll play well.
I know Rashad's touchdown now has him tied for the 5th most touchdowns from scrimmage by a running back in franchise history. Tell me what you saw from his game and his touchdown in particular, and how he's been able to step in to be the main guy with Bucky being out.
Rashad's really been the unsung hero and the glue offensively between him and Cade that kind of keeps everything together. He makes the tough runs and the hard runs. He makes some great catches in the screen game. He makes the tough blocks for us, and when you look up, he's always there. He's dicing through the hole, getting extra yards after getting hit. Got a 3rd and 1 play after getting hit in the backfield and made something out of nothing. So he's really been doing all the little things for us to be a good team and for us to win.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more on the Todd Bowles Show. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. Sterling Shepard, 2 catches, but they went for 15 and 36 yards. His longest catch as a Buck. What were his contributions like in the game, and how much they meant, even though it was a couple catches, seemed like really crucial moments, and that feels like a theme for Shep this year. It's not always about the quantity, but it feels like he steps up kind of when you need him the most.
He does. He always finds a spot, and he knows where the open spaces are. He did a heck of a job blocking. He was our energizer in there. He kept everybody together and everybody going. Really good for the young guys to see, and he makes plays. He always makes plays, and he lets you know about it.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. How about Sean Tucker stepping in as the number 2 and his touchdown, and what stood out about that play and then his performance overall?
Sean can run the football. We wanted him in there, but really impressive was his pass protection. He stuck his face in there and made some blocks for Baker to throw the football, but he can run, and when he gets outside, he's a lot faster than people think, and you can't catch him.
And how about your offensive line? Yet again, another game where we ended up with a different combination of people out there. So tell me what you saw from them both before Haggard went out and then once Elijah Klein stepped in.
Haggard was actually doing a very good job. He really came into his own this week when he got out of there. And Klein stepped in, and from having played before, he really stepped in, and he was kind of calm and under control and knew what he was doing, and he did his job.
You mentioned Cade Otton earlier being kind of one of the unsung heroes of the offense. Now 5 catches for 51 yards. So after only 34 receiving yards across the first 4 weeks of the season, when he was essentially almost an honorary O-line member due to circumstances, he's now contributed 132 yards in weeks 5 and 6. So tell us just kind of what he's done the last couple weeks and getting the chance again to be more of that receiving guy and the role he can play with so many injuries.
Well, with Mecca coming on and the attention going to him, Cade was the other guy that was wide open all the time. So we started using him and incorporating him in the offense a lot more and more. And he's making some great catches and moving the chains for us along with him and Rashad. So they got to play us more honest.
All right, let's talk about Jamel. A couple big plays for him, interception and his first career sack. Tell me about those 2 plays and what he did well.
The first career sack was probably the most impressive play I've seen him play, and I've been here 7 years with him. But he actually dipped and came under, and he went for the strip when he got the sack, which he has never done in his life, and that was probably my most proudest moment yesterday of all. And he played the interception very well. He had McCaffrey in front of him. He had the receiver behind him. He was in cover 2, and he sat there and he waited the quarterback out, and he caught it with his hands again. Really playing well, like the place he's in.
That's great. And Kendall Vildor, also an interception. I'm not sure that was one that Bucs fans had on their bingo card. So tell me, how great was that play, and just the way that, you know, Kendall's been able to step in when called upon?
You know, it was a heck of a play by him. It was a great read, great catch. I don't know about him not being able to get off the ground and stumbling and bumbling 3 times. He could have got up and crawled in if he wanted to, but it was a heck of a play by him. He's a very smart player. He's a very instinctive player. He had some plays throughout that ball game and really played well.
And then just the way that now also when you look at how he has been called upon, but then also you had Parrish, and the way that whenever Kendall was in versus that Parrish having to play a little bit of nickel, a little bit of outside. How impressive is it that he's able to manage both positions, not just in general, but even in one game, to have to manage what his role is when he changes?
I thought it was a lot better this week. You know, after going at it against Seattle, you know, it was a little rough going from both places, but this week I thought he did a very good job. He played a heck of a ball game, very tough ball game. Coverage-wise and tackling-wise, and Parrish is a very good football player.
I know that Fred Warner is a guy you definitely think very highly of, and all of us know how talented he is. What was kind of the effect on the game when he went out of a player of that caliber, and what that can maybe do even for your game plan?
You know, we saw it when it happened, something you don't want to see, especially against a guy with that caliber and how good he is off the field with everybody. Everybody loves this guy all over the place. Great competitor, great person, and to see something like that happen early in the game, you know, that can be devastating for a team. Both teams, really. We had guys on our team that couldn't even look and turn around and see what happened there. So hopefully speedy recovery and the best for him.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back on the Todd Bowles Show. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. We saw the sack, well, first of all, 6 sacks, which incredible performance on that. And what worked so well from a pass rush standpoint, and the fact that I imagine that for you it's kind of the dream of where it's defensive linemen, it's outside linebackers, it's a corner, that all levels of your defense were getting in on that action. So what worked so well from that standpoint in this game?
Started up front. They were getting off the ball early. When the D-line gets off the ball early, that allows you to open up everything else. Vita, Logan, Gaines, Yaya, Hassan, all them guys start taking off on the ball. It allows the second level to start to come through because they're spending more time on the other guys. So when Levante got his and Dean got his, all set up by the defensive front, and that's good to see.
Yeah, so the sack that was split between Elijah Roberts and Vita, first of all, Elijah's now got 1 sack, but each of them are a half. The guy can't quite get his own so far, but as a rookie, been in there on a few of them. So what did you see on that play overall, and then just the fact that Elijah Roberts has come in and shown he really can be a force in that area?
No, Vita beat his man clean first. Vita should have had it by himself, but he missed it. Obviously, Elijah came running right behind him. He uses his hands very well. He's very good at using his hands and getting on the edge of blockers and getting back in the backfield, and I think that's a skill set that he already knew, because you can't teach that. You can teach it, but you can't do it like he can do it, and he has a knack for that, and that's only going to help us in the future.
I know Vita now with that half sack tied Jason Pierre-Paul and Brad Culpepper for the 9th most sacks in franchise history. We've just seen the way that a guy, you know, at his position, his size, is able to pass rush on such an elite level, and saw that he brought pressure on a lot of plays where maybe he didn't even get a stat for it, but seemed like he helped on Yaya's. And what have you seen for this season overall, and then this game in particular, of the way that he's still continuing to show he can be elite in that way?
He's been dominant. He's been dominant. He's the one guy that can get his own even if the play is not designed for him. And, you know, he can really cause havoc back there if you don't pay attention to him, whether it's a short yardage stop, whether it's a sack, whether it's an edge run play, no matter what. Vita can make his plays, and he's been great for us this year.
I know Yaya ended up with 2 sacks on the books in this game. What made this game one where he kind of exploded a little bit in that area, and then just what you're trying to work on with him for it to be where more consistently he's showing up in the ways where he gets so close, it feels like a lot of times, but to really finish some of these plays more consistently?
We had a good conversation, and you know, I think he came out with the right mentality, and he took it to heart, and he went out and played a hell of a ball game, and that's what we know he can do.
And then I know that Bourne, we talked about how they were so injured coming into this game, very similar to us. And so also similar to us, they had some backup guys step up in a big way. Bourne finished with 142 yards receiving. What was the challenge of facing him, and just overall what it's like to scout a team that ends up having a lot of guys that haven't gotten as many games and reps in the past due to injuries?
Well, he's a good receiver, but 2 of them catches that went for about 80 yards. We can't even keep our feet. We just fall down. I mean, if Voss keeps his feet, the ball hits him in the face. And we got to do a better job of being athletic out there. But obviously they have tough receivers. They were Bourne and Jennings. He's played in this league a while. He's very quick. He understands what to do. Him and Mac had a connection, and he made some plays, and we're just happy we made more in the end.
We knew Christian McCaffrey could be a guy that, can really make or break a game, and you guys held the 49ers to 67 rushing yards, which is the fewest allowed to an opponent this season and the fewest that they've produced in a single game this season. So what worked well from the run game standpoint?
Again, it starts with Vita. It starts with Vita on the inside, and Boss did a heck of a job coming downhill, making some plays, and I thought we really corralled him in the passing game as far as yak yards when he caught the ball. There was 1 or 2 guys coming from every angle, and Voss was spearheading that.
We saw Levante get the strip sack that unfortunately then just turned into a sack, but still a great play even after it was overturned on replay. What did he do well on that play, and then his game overall?
Levante has been in the defense long enough where he understands the timing of the blitz. He understands what the other guys have to do to free himself up, and he does a very good job of waiting till the exact time to turn on the gas and let the blocks take care of themselves and make the plays, and he's become great at that, and he's very good at it, and he made the play.
All right, we're going to take one more break here on the Todd Bowles Show. We'll be right back to talk about this next game. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Time to talk about this upcoming game against the Lions. So tell me, Jared Goff this season, obviously faced him several times now over the course of different teams. What does he look like this year and some of the unique challenges he brings?
Extremely accurate, knows where to go with the football, gets the ball out of his hands, has tons of weapons to work with. Again, tough team. We've played them the last 3 years. It's always been a dogfight. Don't expect anything different here, but he's a very accurate passer, one of the best in the league, and he's hard to get to.
And then how about Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and the fact that each one of them what they bring, but then having them together, the way that makes it challenging to game plan for?
Extremely tough. Montgomery's extremely tough coming up and inside running. He's hard to bring down. He's more thunder. Gibbs is more lightning. Even though he's hard to bring down, he's very quick and he's fast, and he can break tackles on the outside, and you're not going to catch him if he gets going.
And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, another, as if those weren't enough weapons. Tell me what's interesting about him and the way he's come on in years.
Well, they've got a ton of them. Again, he's another one, catches at least 9-10 balls a game. Very good down the field, very good intermediate, very good in the short route, and very good once he gets the ball in his hands. So he's going to be another tough out, and they spread all these guys out and they make you play individual ball, and you got to be very disciplined.
Then we know Aiden Hutchinson, a guy who can wreck games. And tell me now, with where the offensive line is at this point, the comfort level with that, and just ways that you try to limit a guy like him who really can be a game wrecker.
No, we were similar to last year. We were playing with a backup tackle, and he had a hell of a day against us last year. But Charlie's playing very good right now, so we're going to have our hands full with Aiden. Again, he's a tough football player, but we got to fight and we got to win our battles.
How about the rest of their defensive front outside of him? What stands out?
Extremely physical at the point of attack. Obviously, we're going against one of our coaches over there, Casey Rogers. He'll have those guys ready to play, so he'll have some tricks up his sleeve, so we better be ready. And
then how about their secondary?
Ball hawks. They play a lot of man coverage. They play very tight coverage. They come after you up front, they play tight coverage in the back, and they wait for you to make a mistake.
What did you learn from the last Monday night football game of how the team handled it well, and just in general knowing there had been some struggles in primetime games, but to do well in this last one, and what you guys feel like the takeaway was and how guys handled it?
The biggest thing was the crowd noise. We hardly had any false starts, so that was big. To play in that type of environment and play a tough ball game and not flinch is not easy to do, so we got to go up there with the same mindset. It's going to be us against everybody once we get up there, and we just got to execute.
Well, Coach, thank you as always for your time. We really appreciate it. And again, congrats on that big W this weekend.
Thank you.